today we're going to talk about finding deals, specifically the 5 ways to source off-market deals. Oh, you know what? I thought I had my highlighter. Now I'm drawing all over this thing. You can't read it like that. Jeez, you know what? Good thing I got the back button. Don't even worry about it. I got you guys. Today we're going to talk about the 5 ways, right, to source off-market deals. Now, sourcing. Now let's do this too. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now, sourcing on-market deals is actually fairly passive. Okay. Really, all that's going to be required is you're going to send your real estate broker your investment criteria. You're going to ask to subscribe to their email list, and then they're going to, pretty much any, current or future listing that meets your criteria is going to be automatically sent to your email inbox. But you're not going to have control over the quality of the deals that they send or how many deals that they send. They're going to take the best deals, give it to the people that they have the best relationships with, and then you're going to be stuck with the rest, okay? It's also solely based off of the number of owners, right, who happen to be listing their property with a real estate broker. So you could see a bunch of opportunities one week and then go a few months without seeing any opportunities. So in my opinion, the more active and beneficial approach, especially in the beginning, really always, but especially in the beginning, as you're building your relationships, is to pursue off-market real estate opportunities. Now, there's generally 2 basic, strategies for finding off-market deals. The first is to speak directly to the owner, and then the second is to speak. That's pretty obvious, but the second one is to speak to somebody who, knows the owner. So you're prospecting, tactics, I couldn't think of that word, tactics. Your prospecting tactics should only target these 2 groups. So here are the 5 methods, right, that you can use whether you're buying your first apartment building or your stinking 20th apartment building. Okay, so here's the 5 different methods to use. Number 1 is direct mail. Now, direct mail campaigns are one of the most well-known tactics for acquiring off-market real estate deals. A direct mail campaign it essentially consists of sending out, a batch of letters to a list of apartment owners with the purpose of sparking a conversation that results in us being able to buy their property, right? Direct mail campaigns are great. They've been around a long time. Now, there's going to be 2 keys, though, to a successful direct mail campaign. One is your list, and the other one is the frequency that you mail that list. Wow. My handwriting is pretty damn good. So the quality of your list and how frequently you mail that list. Okay, a high quality mailing list will only include apartment owners who, communities that, essentially meet our criteria, right? And who show at least one sign that they're interested in selling. So, for example, we only mail to owners who've purchased their property 5 or more years ago. The reason behind that, they're likely, going to have a buildup of enough equity to sell their property below market value, but still being able to make a sizable profit. But they could also be coming to the end of their business plan. Okay, a typical business plan hold period on that property 3, 5, 7 years. So there's a great chance they're at the end of that. Okay, another option is only mailing to distressed owners, right? So indications that, an owner is distressed could be, they're going to eviction court, right? They have multiple tenants that are evicting. Maybe they have building code violations, or, they're on the delinquent tax list, or maybe they're living out of state, living in another state than, where the property is, and they're trying to manage that on their own. And then the other side of that, once again, is mailing frequency, okay? So your frequency. Decide what frequency you're going to mail your list of owners. Monthly, quarterly, every 6 months. We're going to give you some good guidance that at the 3-day training as well. But then commit to that system. Okay, sometimes you might, receive a reply on your first mailer. Other times you're not going to get a response until you've been mailing to the same owner for over a year. Who knows, right? Okay, number 2, though, is cold calling, all right? So I'm going to erase this guy here so we don't get in the way. Number 2 is cold calling. That sounds fun, right? This is I know it sounds fun, maybe to some of you, but to me, that's not sounding fun. But here's the thing, okay? Part of learning how to find off-market deals is becoming proactive rather than reactive, right? So rather than sending direct mailers to your list of distressed apartment owners and waiting for the phone to ring, right? Sending, just waiting, praying, whatever. Call the owner directly, right? You can even text them if that's easier for you. We'll give you strategies and show you how to do that as well. But with cold calling compared to direct mail as an example, you have more control over the number of conversations that you have with owners. Okay? It's also less expensive, actually. You're avoiding the cost of letters and stamps and envelopes, all the above, right? But it does take time, though. You're going to learn some pretty awesome workarounds in regards to saving time at the 3-day training and still being able to cold call. It's freaking awesome. But cold calling, right, can also increase your conversion rates as well. So you have, with direct mail, with direct mail as an example, right? Let's say, if an owner isn't interested in selling, they're not going to reach out to you and let you know that. But with cold calling, right, you can follow up with the seller, essentially send the seller a letter referencing the conversation, right? Talking about, the conversation that you had, providing your contact information, and notifying them that you're going to call again in X number of months, 2, 4, 6, right? Whatever you decide, or maybe whatever conversation you had with them over the phone to see if they're interested in selling at that point. Okay. Now, number 3 is pretty cool. It's called a thought leadership platform. Now, thought leadership platforms can be a great way to source off-market real estate deals. So with an interview-based podcast, blog, YouTube channel, right, you can form awesome relationships with your guests, build a large audience, which essentially allows you on a regular basis to, regularly let both of those parties know that you're looking for apartments to buy. You also have meetup groups that are a great option. You can network face-to-face with attendees and the speakers who are there who are active real estate, investors. And then regardless of, the platform that you pursue as a thought leader, you're going to be reaching and cultivating relationships with 2 key people, right? Both apartment owners, right? The owners, and the professionals who know the owners, which, once again, are the only 2 ways to source and find off-market deals. So it's great. Fits our criteria, right? Number 4 is for rent ads. For rent, right? So calling apartment owners of real estate listings on online services such as, Craigslist or apartments.com, Zillow, or just for rent signs that are scattered across your local market, right? These can be a great way to source off-market deals as well. So if you see that the owner has a lot of units, listed for rent, you've automatically identified a pain point. These units are vacant, and there's a bunch of them that are vacant, which means they're probably losing money. And you might be able to catch them, at a moment in time where, they're motivated to sell, which is what we're looking for, right? Motivated sellers. And then number 5 is a cool one, is apartment vendors, okay? So vendors are, this includes, really anyone involved in the servicing of apartment communities. Electricians, carpet installers, plumbers, HVAC professionals, pool repairmen, lawn care professionals. You get it, right? But these people, they're on the front lines and will likely have insider information on communities that are being neglected, right? That have problems, and it's our job, right, to solve these problems. So first, maybe use their services or interview them as a potential team member. I mean, you can even, refer them to other apartment owners, from your meetup group or whatever, right, to build rapport and provide value for the apartment vendors as well. Then ask them to notify you about potential, distressed owners or neglected communities that they come across, right? Overall, here's the thing. Overall, I would suggest that you pick, a couple of these. Not all of these. You're not going to pick all of these and start, right? You're going to pick, maybe 2 of these methods and then be dedicated to generating leads for those for at least 3 months. And I would say, honestly, even longer than 3 months. Like, we live in a culture of instant gratification where people expect quick or immediate results. And that's great and those can happen, right? But the far more effective approach is to understand the bigger picture, knowing that a deal will absolutely land in your lap if you continue to do what we need to do. Success requires constant action, constant tracking, and, constant improvement. So be dedicated to that process, right? And as we have a couple of these irons in the fire, deals will come across your lap. That I'm 100% certain. So all of these tactics that, I put up here, all of them have worked. But understand, they might not all work for you, right? Because of maybe the market that you're in or your unique skill set. After a 3-month period, if one or both of the marketing methods, don't have good results, tweak it or try another tactic, right? But ultimately, it's not about having 5 off-market lead sources at all time. It's about finding a few that work best for you. And we're going to get into greater detail about that in the 3-day class as well. Which ones that we've seen the best results in different markets, which ones we would suggest. We can talk about strengths and weaknesses to suggest what we think you should do. To give you suggestions is what we're going to do, okay? Look forward to seeing you there once again. Dive in. Don't tell anybody about actually tell everyone about my handwriting. Look at that stuff.